Hi everyone. So this next topic that we're going to talk about, things that affect our mental health, is money. Now, why does money affect our mental health? We see that people who have a lot of money can suffer from mental health problems, or people who don't have enough money can also suffer from mental health problems. So many people might think that money doesn't have any relation to mental health problems. Let's look at a scenario of somebody who has a lot of money and why they would be having mental health problems. Someone with a lot of money might have different types of worries, such as how to manage that money, how to look after that money so that it's safe and secured, how to invest that money so that the investment has a good return and that money doesn't run out. Sometimes when there's a lot of money, people can get greedy and they would like to multiply it and increase it more. So there are different types of worries that can come with having a lot of money. Now let's look at somebody who doesn't have a lot of money. They could have worries as well, but of a different kind. Because they don't have as much money, their worries could be not being able to pay the bills, not being able to pay for something that their loved one needs, like maybe education or food or shelter. It could also be worrying or just the feeling of sadness and guilt when their spouse or their children want something and they're not able to give it to them because they don't have enough money. It could also be not fulfilling your own wishes and your own wants and needs. Maybe you want a better car, maybe you want some better clothes, maybe you want to take a vacation, but you can't afford it because you don't have enough money. So we can see that worries can come for somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, somebody who has a lot of money. So if somebody who has a lot of money and somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, both can suffer from mental health problems, one might say that money has nothing to do with it. I actually kind of agree with that sentence too a little bit, because not having or having money doesn't necessarily directly affect our mental health. It acts more like a trigger and how we see the problem at hand. There are people we also know who have a lot of money or who don't have a lot of money and who are perfectly happy and satisfied with their life. So how are they able to not have mental health problems? So money acts like a trigger for some people, not everyone. In some people who have a lot of money, it can affect all those thoughts that I was telling you about, where they need to protect their money, they need to invest it, they're always in fear that they're gonna run out or people are gonna steal it from them. They have those kind of worries. And the ones who don't have a lot of money, they have a different type of worries. But where do these worries come from? So you might say that these worries are the actual root cause of the mental health problems. Now, worries can be a root cause, but it's not exactly a root cause because everybody worries, right? What we really have to understand is where those worrying thoughts come from. We learn how to worry. Worry is not something that we just know how to do right after we are born. Anxiety is a feeling that we're born with. Anxiety drives us to run away from situations that are going to be negatively affecting our mental health. Anxiety teaches us to cope with extreme psychological traumas, and anxiety is a feeling that our brains are designed to make us feel. So anxiety can lead to worry. So the thing to identify is not that the money is causing or triggering the problem. The thing to identify is, what thoughts am I having? What are those thoughts? And where are those thoughts coming from? They did not come from your own brain. They obviously must have been taught to you. Not taught like, hey, this is how you think. No, you must have learned it or picked it up somewhere during your childhood, during your upbringing, during your life. You must have learned to think that way about having money or not having money. You must have learned that this is how one should react because maybe you saw your parents react that way. Maybe you saw your grandparents react that way. Maybe you saw somebody whom you look up to, who took care of you, react that way. And you adopted that reaction as your own reaction. So today's video, I just wanted to point out that money is not necessarily the cause of having mental health problems. Some people might throw out random comments like, oh, they have a lot of money, that's why they're never happy. Money can buy happiness. Having too much money can cause mental health problems. And I find that a little insensitive to judge like that, because for somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, like maybe me, I'll never really understand what having a lot of money feels like. maybe it does add a lot of stress. Or maybe if I have a lot of money, I might not stress at all because I might think, yoo-hoo, I have a lot of money. Or somebody who has a lot of money, they might be thinking the opposite. They might be saying that, oh, people who live in poverty or who are always like living paycheck to paycheck, they always have mental health problems because they're constantly worrying that they're not able to afford stuff. They're not happy because they can't buy stuff. So this is a difference in perspective. But what I want to say is that it is just a trigger. Having or not having money just triggers your negative thoughts sometimes. And what you have to identify is what are those negative thoughts so you can eliminate them from your life and you can reduce those mental health problems that you're having. So I'm going to end my video here. And the next video that I'm going to talk about that can be a trigger to mental health problems is our parents. Now that's going to be interesting. So until next time, guys, take care. If you're worrying or stressing about your financial problems, try to do these steps. Number 1, write down the worrying thoughts that are causing you stress. Number 2, sometimes worries come in different forms or different scenarios, such as, what if this happens or that doesn't happen? Next, try to identify when was the first time you had this thought. Did someone tell you about a similar scenario that happened to them? Or did you experience this scenario in the past yourself? Or did someone tell you about it when you were a child, like a what if scenario, what if this happens or that doesn't happen? Once you identify when was the first time you experienced or had this thought, you can tell yourself, was it really that bad? Did you not get through it? Are you not okay right now? If something has not even happened yet, then why worry? Because sometimes these thoughts that we have are basically thoughts of someone telling us about it or just a fear working in us. We never experienced it before. It's just a what if scenario. Then pep talk yourself. You can get through this. You cannot prepare for every unknown in life, and worrying will not prevent it. You're smart. You will be okay. Brought to you by My Mind, My Health. Because a healthy mind will lead to a healthy life.